Rotary greetings and namaste from India, RAGMI and DAGMI India, that is Rotary Action Group on Mental Health Initiatives, and its district chapters from India have organized celebrating mental health on International Youth Day, that is 12th August 2023. I, Dr. Abha Pimprikar, President DAGMI 3030, along with my co-host Binoy Momaya, Secretary DAGMI 3170, welcome you all to the Zoom session.
Well, I will start. Welcome, everyone. I am Bob Anthony. I'm the chair of the Rotary Action Group on Mental Health Initiatives. And I'm so grateful for the District Action Group chapters, primarily in India, who have made today's session possible. The Rotary members in the crowd will know about something called a Rotary moment. I'm having a Rotary moment right now. I'm just stunned by the number of people here. And I'm so proud that our action group was asked by Gordon McAnally to recommend resources that people could use in any community, and then to make them practical. Specifically, he wanted to address breaking stigma, raising awareness, and increasing access to early treatment as well as prevention. So Gordon asked the group to introduce the first one at the convention in Australia in May. It addressed the first two challenges of breaking stigma and raising awareness. We call it looking inward. Anyone can download these toolkits from the ragonmentalhealth.org website. The first 200 responses Gordon saw came from over 20 countries. The other toolkits even address the task of increasing capacity. The District Action Group 3030 built on the framework of something called Wellness in a Box to provide a full year diploma to teachers at 5 schools in her area. And they not only developed the skills of school counseling, but referral. So all of the 8th standard students in those 5 schools will be much better positioned for identifying that something's awry and that they would like to talk about it. A different toolkit leverages the family doctors to directly manage all mild and moderate symptoms. This overcomes the fact that psychiatrists are so rare, and that's called a lever. So again, you can download these on the website. You may have a program in your own community you'd like to advance. That is terrific, and part of the role of the action groups is to help you succeed. So you're not alone in bringing these things to fruition. Simply contact a member of the District Action Group. They all have great experience and they want to help your project succeed. And they want you to join the district chapter to create hope by breaking stigma, raising awareness, and increasing capacity. Thank you. Thank you so much for all you're doing. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Bob, sir. It was wonderful to hear from you. I would now request Arpita ma'am to take the privilege of introducing today's chief guest, Rotary International Director, Aniruddha sir. Over to you, ma'am.
Binoy. Thank you, Binoy. I hope I can be heard.
Yes.
Thank you. It gives me great pleasure to introduce our chief guest, who is currently serving as the Rotary International Director from Zone 5 and 6 from 2023 to 2025, Aniruddha Roy Chaudhary, an electrical engineer and first-generation entrepreneur who founded Zoom 16 Color Laboratory in 1980. He joined Rotary in 1995 as charter member of his club, Rotary Club Calcutta Megacity, and was our district governor in 2007. A recipient of several Rotary Service Awards, he and his wife Shipra are Level 3 major donors and Bequest Society members. Ever smiling and truly inspirational, he is passionate about promoting literacy, working with young people, and supporting mental health initiatives. Over to Aniruddha Da, as most people in District 3291, my district, would say, where Dada means elder brother.
Thank you. Thank you, Arpita. Thank you very much for your kind words, and welcome to each one of you. Today's very important seminar, international, on the Day of International Youth. And we are celebrating the mental health today. In fact, this I deemed a great privilege to be part of this initiative. And the first time I met Rotarian Rita Agarwal, in fact, the first is from District 3030. When I took our Rotary International President, McNally Gordon, to District 3030, sometime in April, I still recollecting 26th of April, most likely. And we had visited the setup by, Rotary Club of Nagpur. They have made for that the mental health care system. And having interacted, seen the kind of initiative and activities they are engaged in, and I can tell you, while our Rotary International President was speaking and expressing his thoughts, he had gone to the extent he's become so emotional, and he has just controlled his emotion, and that yes, in India, a lot of work is going on without his knowledge, and he was not aware of it. So thank you, Rita ji. I find you're doing extremely well with your own, all the colleagues here, but I must acknowledge the presence of the chair, RAG Mental Health Initiative, Bob Anthony. Bob, I'm meeting for the first time. And yes, I'll be definitely joining you, 3 of your meetings, maybe in future, to understand more about this subject. But I have made one thing very clear to all the district governors of Zone 5 and 6, which means 22 districts are there in Zone 5 and 6, that they must come out their plans on this front, on this initiative, this focus area of this year on mental health care. And for that, this entire action group has given me a clean sheet that all kinds of support will be extended to each and every district, whatever project they undertake. And we also have a menu of our services where the clubs and the district can engage in during the year. But today is something different. I also find many important personalities are there. The Principal Technical Officer, CDAC from Bangalore, Karthika Venkatesan, and of course the young people, some minds are also there today, who are the main focus area for discussion of today's evening. Friends, you all are there know this mental health is a priority, and our happiness is essential, and self-care is a necessity. These words encapsulate the essence of what we are gathered here to discuss today. As we commemorate International Youth Day today, I'm truly honored to address this seminar, which places a very critical spotlight on a topic that resonates deeply with all of us, that is mental health. The youth of today, my dear friends, are exposed to ever-evolving world. They are confronted with many challenges we never have optimized earlier, characterized by rapid technological advancements and societal change that also has seeped in deeply in the mind of the young people. This often leads to heightened stress, anxiety, and need for guidance. Providing mental health support for the youth is very crucial to ensure their emotional well-being, resilience, and development of health coping mechanism. This year holds a very unique resonance as Rotary, under the resounding call of World President Gordon, has directed its focus towards mental health more than ever. This clarion call recognizes the pressing need to address mental health issues that have long been shrouded in silence and stigma. Friends, in our pursuit to create a better world, we must together break down the barriers of stigma associated with mental health and openly discuss the emotional well-being that is the core of human experience. In a society that often emphasizes outward success, it is crucial to remember that seeking help and taking care of your mind is a sign of strength, not the weakness. Friends, awareness is the first step, and it's through conversations like the ones we engage in today can shine a light on the mental health needs and often remains unspoken. However, awareness alone is not enough. We must translate our understanding into action by improving access to essential mental health services. It is our duty to ensure that every individual, regardless of their backgrounds, can find support they need on their journey to mental wellness. If you find someone needs some help and support, offer help, respect boundaries, listen to them, be non-judgmental, stay connected. Friends, I have two messages today, one for the clubs in the district. Rotary and Rotary districts and districts around the world have a pivotal role to play on this subject. And I urge each one of you to take up projects that center around mental health and that can uplift, educate, and provide resources to those in need. And for the youth, my second message is, I'm reminded of the inspiring quote of very famous author, John Greens, and I quote, "There is hope, even when your brain tells you are not is in it," unquote. These words are the reminders that even the darkest moments, when you feel the lowest, hope remains as your steadfast companions. The only thing you will have to do is discuss your problems openly and seek help if needed. Friend, embrace your potential, stand up your mental health, let your journey inspire others to do the same. The path may not always be smooth, but with resilience and self-compassion, you can overcome challenges and emerge stronger than ever. Stay strong, stay healthy. Thank you, friends. I'll definitely be there with you to understand more in depth about this today's seminar. And I wish all the best in your future endeavors. Thank you. May God bless you.
Thank you very much, sir, for your support and kind words. I know you will be always there to guide us through our projects and programs. Now I request Binoy to play the video that RI President Gordon has recorded specially for us. He wanted to attend this particular program, but he's immensely busy. But he took out some time to record a 2-minute video for all of us. So let us see what he has to share with us.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everyone. Or, as we like to say in virtual meetings these days, good time zone. I'm so happy that you've taken the time today, which also happens to be International Youth Day, to discuss a topic of great importance to me: promoting mental health and wellness. Young people today are facing challenges that no previous generation has ever encountered. And I am so inspired by the way interactors, Rotary Youth Exchange and RILA participants, and Rotaractors have risen to this challenge and not only taken on the cause of mental health, but become wonderful role models for people of all generations. When I speak around the Rotary world about the growing mental health crisis, some people in older generations have a hard time grasping exactly what I mean. But young people get it immediately. You know the challenges because you live them daily. You know what it's like to grow up amid a pandemic, to be constantly bombarded with images and expectations, to not know how to find your place in a world that is changing too quickly for anyone to fully grasp. Rotary gives us this incredible opportunity to face despair with action and in the process create hope. In Rotary, we don't just describe problems, we seek solutions. Your energy and your commitment renew our sense of optimism. And that's why I look forward to listening to you and to hearing your ideas about how we can break down the stigmas surrounding mental health, and how you can inspire people of your parents' and grandparents' generation to take up this cause as well. Your participation means the world to me. Thank you. Thank you so much for your leadership.
Abha ma'am, are you there? Yeah, so let's get ahead. I would now request Satish Mandora to kindly introduce Mike.
Happy time zone to all. Mental health speaker, best-selling author Mike Veney delivers engaging presentations with raw energy that somehow seem to come from his passion for drumming. He's a classical example of been there, done that, as he shares his own struggle with mental health challenges, and now is a global thought leader on the subject. A highly sought after keynote speaker, corporate drumming event facilitator, author, and avid traveler, Mike is the author of the book, Transforming Stigma, How to Become a Mental Wellness Superhero, and the Transforming Stigma Workbook. A PM360 Elite Award winner, Mike is recognized as one of the 100 most influential people in the healthcare industry. However, most important for us as Rotarians, Mike is a member of the Rotary Action Group on Mental Health Initiatives. And in spite of being so accomplished, he's extremely humble to offer his services to the Rotary world. Please join your hands for welcoming Mike to this phygital gathering.
Thank you. Thank you for such a nice introduction. And hello to all of you out there. My name is Mike Veney. I'm excited to be here with you this morning, and I'm going to present to you for about 20 minutes here, because that's usually the little time slot we have with Rotary. And I'm watching the clock very carefully so I don't go over. And I want to tell you a few things. First of all, this morning I woke up, it's actually almost 9:00 a.m. Saturday here in New York City. So I got up early this morning and I was really, really tired, and I meditated by the water. And I took a picture of the water in New York City and posted it to Instagram. It's very important for you to know that, because we're going to be talking about Instagram. We're also going to be talking about the stigma surrounding mental health. And what's interesting about this idea of stigma is that we are talking about the subject more than ever before. I mean, we're here having a whole day of events around, mental health. And at the same time, people aren't getting the help that they desperately need. And so I want to challenge you right now to really listen to what I have to say, because in this short presentation, you might be able to take something from it that can not only help you, but help someone that you love who might be struggling with mental health. And that being said, because we're talking about mental health, I want to warn you that it's a triggering subject. So some people might be triggered by certain things that are said today from me and others. But I want to promise you that I'm going to do my best to be as sensitive as I can with language, but also I want to be honest with you. And I've been struggling with mental health challenges my whole life. It's all that I know in a sense. And I never would have thought when I was a young person struggling that I'd be talking to an international group of youth about my mental health. I mean, I wanted to keep it a secret. I didn't want anyone to know about it. And it started with behavior problems. You know, when we talk about mental health, we're actually talking about three things: thoughts, feelings, and behavior. If any one of those has a problem, guess what? You've got a mental health problem. And what's interesting about that is you can't see someone's thoughts, or at least not yet. Who knows where technology is going? We like to think that we can perceive each other's feelings, especially with emojis, but you can absolutely observe someone's behavior. And I started having behavior problems when I was in kindergarten. I would scream, yell, hit my little brother, and I was just constantly getting in trouble. And by the time that I finished first grade, my parents had put me in Catholic school because they thought that that would straighten me out. That was the stereotype that Catholic school had. It's going to straighten you out. And it was actually a phenomenal education. And second grade, I did okay. Third grade, I did okay. But in fourth grade, I think you can all relate to this experience where you had that one teacher in school, or maybe that one teacher now you have in school that nobody wants to have as a teacher. They have a reputation for, I don't know, being mean or an alien or something like that. Well, in my school, her name was Sister Pat, and she was known as the mean and evil nun. And I knew from day one of fourth grade we were not going to finish the school year together. And long story short, after she yelled at me for having a smile on my face, and I yelled back at her and did a few other things, I was expelled from that school. And my parents needed to find a school for me because I'm expelled at the beginning of the fourth grade. So they found another school where my uncle was the principal. And long story short, after 3 weeks and several fights and a desk flying out of my hands in the direction of my teacher, I was expelled from that school. This is not looking good. And I didn't know what was wrong. I just knew that I was angry and I didn't know why. And the summer between fourth and fifth grade, I got angry to the point where I started punching things in my parents' home and just destroying things. And my parents didn't know what to do with me. And the next thing I know, I was put in a mental hospital. And that's a scary place to be, especially when you're a kid. Again, I never thought I'd be talking about it because when I was put in there, I mean, the big hope was no one would ever find out about this. In fifth grade, I was put in special education, and I didn't realize it at the time, but I was experiencing an intense sadness that I would later learn is called depression. I mean, mental health challenges are hard enough to talk about, but especially when you're a young person, it's really hard. And that's why I tell adults who might be listening that when a young person, if you ask them what's wrong and they say, I don't know, they're telling the truth, because mental health challenges are confusing, complex, and frustrating. And, you know, I just wanted the pain to go away. And oftentimes when we talk about mental health and we go to a presentation like this, we want a solution. In fact, many of you who are watching this want a solution. And, you know, I had a solution that I deeply regret. Trigger warning, I'm going to talk about something very sensitive. At 10 years old, I had had enough with my sadness and I just wanted it to go away. So I came home from school one day, and without going into detail, I attempted to die by suicide. And my mom actually found me passed out on the floor and rushed me to the hospital and saved my life. And that being said, if any of you watching this are thinking about that, thinking of harming someone, I encourage you to reach out and talk to someone about it. And I promise you, as you're going to see throughout the day today, there are other ways that are more effective to deal with whatever it is you're struggling with, no matter how lonely you might feel. Things started to spiral down and get worse after that. In seventh grade, I'm a lot bigger and I'm a lot stronger. And I want to be honest with you, I was acting out at home, but when you're in seventh grade and acting out, throwing things and stuff, that's called violence. And I'm ashamed to admit it, but it's the truth. And I want you to know the truth about what happened. And the next thing I know, I was put in a mental hospital again, this time for 6 months. By the time I had finished 10th grade, I had been expelled from 3 schools, hospitalized in a mental hospital 3 times, several suicide attempts, lots of self-harm, and violent at home. All that I knew was emotional pain. And I thought no school was ever going to take me and I would get to quit school. That was my dream. I just wanted to quit school. But my parents weren't having that. So the summer between 10th and 11th grade changed my life because no school wanted me. But my mom actually found a performing arts high school because I was very interested in drumming. And I told her the only thing I wanted to do was play drums. I just want to stay home and play drums all day. And my parents were not having that. So my mom actually found a performing arts high school on Long Island that accepted me despite my track record with behavior. And that's when life changed for me. I'll never forget going to the school because even just talking to you about it, like I'm smiling because it makes me happy, because it was the first time in my life I felt a hint of happiness. There's something about being behind a set of drums that just makes me feel good. And what happened when I got in that school is my grades started to go up. With the help of my psychiatrist, my medication went down to 0. And I wasn't acting out anymore. And I found a tool to help me. Fortunately, it actually became my career and I became a professional drummer, and I'm still a drummer to this day. Actually, I do drumming in the workplace now with adults. Companies hire me to come in and I get to bring my drums and they sit in a circle with me and play with me. I'm like a grown-up child. I love it. But I get to share the medication that helped me with others. But I want to be honest with you, even though the drumming really helped, I still struggle every single day with my mental health. I battle with depression, anxiety, and obsessive compulsive disorder. And it wasn't until 2011 that I realized it wasn't just my mental health that was a challenge. It was, what if you found out? You might not want to be my friend. You might not want me in your Rotary Club. You might not want me working with you. And I realized that that was the stigma surrounding mental health, the shame that I was carrying around. I just wanted the challenges to go away so I could feel normal. And I set out on a journey to help myself. And I ended up researching everything I could about stigma for myself, just to basically feel better about myself. And it became 3 points that I wrote on an index card that I'm going to share with you. And these 3 points are the basis for my book and all of my work that I've been doing around the world. And I didn't ever realize that they would leave my pocket and be shared with others. I learned that the reason for stigma is 2 reasons. Number one, no one wants to feel like the weird one. No one wants to feel like the odd person. You know, kindergartners, when they're in kindergarten, they call each other weird. They sit in a circle and they call each other weird, and we think it's cute. But think about what they're doing. They're figuring out who's in the group and who's not in the group. And we bring that with us throughout school into the workplace, in our families. No one wants to feel like the weird one. The other reason for stigma is that mental health challenges are confusing, complex, and frustrating. You know, I was working out, I hurt my wrist, and I knew that I needed to go home and ice my wrist. It was either a sprain, a strain, or a broken wrist. Wait 2 days. If it doesn't get better, you call a doctor. Mental health doesn't work like that. Most people don't wake up and go, oh, I have depression, I should talk to someone. No, no, no. Someone has to discover it for you and confront you, and you're resistant about it. Mental health challenges are confusing, complex, and frustrating. Stigma is a 3-part process, and I want you to listen very carefully to this. It starts with shame. So you might feel ashamed about something you're going through, or you might love someone and feel ashamed about what they're going through. The shame leads to silence. You don't talk about it. Shh. And the silence leads to sabotage, social injustice, self-destructive behavior, and suicide. Let me say it again. Stigma starts with shame. It leads to silence, and the silence leads to sabotage, social injustice, self-destructive behavior, and suicide. But I'm going to show you right now in less than 10 minutes here how to transform it. It's very simple. Stigma starts with shame, and the way you transform shame is through self-care. When you take care of you for some oddball reason, you feel better about you. But let me explain to you what self-care is. A lot of people think self-care is this luxury that nobody has the time for. No, no, no. Self-care is anything that you do for your health when you're not in the presence of a medical professional. So if you wash your hands today, which I hope you did, well, that's a form of self-care. If you brush your teeth, that's a form of self-care. It's anything that you do for your health. So I challenge you as young people to think about, what am I doing to take care of me? You know, the moment this presentation finishes and I go off Zoom, the first thing I'm probably going to do is pick up this device right here, this mobile device. Why? Why am I going to do that? Well, I just need to check my phone. This device has been stressing out so many youth for a long time now. I told you about my Instagram post this morning. I was so excited to post it because I got the perfect photo. And I thought it would make me look good because it's so easy to spend time online comparing yourself to others. That can negatively affect your mental health. So I want to challenge all of you in our mobile culture to just make some time to put the phone down. That's simple. And also make time to just pause. So these are some things that you can start doing for self-care. There's a lot more, but start thinking right now as you're going throughout the day, what can I do to start taking care of myself in the next 24 hours? In fact, if you want to put it in the chat, let us know what you plan to start doing in the next 24 hours to take care of you. So stigma starts with shame. We transform that through self-care. We transform silence through having the conversation. Easier said than done, right? I want to give you all a major tool that you can start using for your mental health: therapy and counseling. Therapy and counseling. Now, I want to say something about therapy and counseling because some of you might be like, okay, yeah, I don't really need that. Actually, every single one of you on this call, whether you struggle with mental health or not, needs therapy and counseling. Every single one of you. Because therapy and counseling don't mean you're in a bad place. I mean, you should go if you're in a bad place, but they're about discovery. And Rotary is all about discovery and growth. You learn about yourself when you go to therapy and counseling. So I challenge all of you, if you haven't done it before, go for it. And for those of you that are thinking, okay, this is great, Mike, I've been to therapy and counseling before, I don't want to go share my whole story again. That's usually a sign that you need to share your whole story again. So challenge you to go to therapy and counseling and start talking about it. Make it a normal part of the conversation. If you and I become friends, we're going to talk about mental health in this exact voice at this exact volume that I talk at. It's not a secret thing that we need to whisper about. We become the stigma at that point. And finally, you transform the sabotage, social injustice, self-destructive behavior, and suicide through connection, connecting with others. For those of you that are watching this presentation and looking at me, there's actually moments that I'm using to actually look into the camera like this, like looking in your eyes. And I'm doing that. Oh, can somebody mute? We're hearing some background noise. I'm doing this intentionally, actually, because when you take a moment to look into someone's eyes and see their humanity, it's one of the greatest things that you can do for them and you to connect. Now, in the actual physical world, I encourage you to just take a moment just to see someone else, whatever that means to you, because I understand in different cultures, eye contact might not be appropriate. How does it also work if someone is visually impaired? Well, if someone's visually impaired, you see them by being present with them, and you allow yourself to be seen by being vulnerable with them. These are some things that you can do. But I want to share with you a final story that it's hard to talk about because it's something I'll never forget about my mental health. 2016, I had a breakdown once again, and I ended up in the mental hospital. And you know, I'm used to it at this point. I talk about it, whatever, but it was horrible. And I'll never forget that the one group of people in my life that were there to support me was my Rotary Club. They wouldn't leave me alone. They would call me every day and check on me. And that's when I knew I was part of a very special group that was more than just projects, fundraising, and networking. So I challenge all of you who might be new to Rotary or just exploring this to really develop relationships here and learn to support others and receive support. That's what we're all about. It's one of the greatest opportunities for your mental health, being part of this club that we are a part of. So let me just say in summary, stigma starts with shame. The shame leads to silence, and the silence leads to sabotage, social injustice, self-destructive behavior, and suicide. But here is how you transform stigma. It's really simple. You transform the shame through self-care. What are you going to start doing in the next 24 hours to take better care of you? It could be something small. To transform the silence, you just need to talk about it. What does that mean? Maybe it means you just need to start talking to a friend about it a little bit more, or just raise your voice and not talk about it quietly. Start talking about it. And just remember, what's interesting in this world is we start running our mouths about things and they become viral. You know, 30 years ago, actually maybe 35 years ago, there was a term used called the big C. No one would talk about breast cancer. No one talked about it. But through repetition, we just keep running our mouths about something. It's a normal conversation around the world now. So I want mental health to be the same way, where we're don't even need to have special meetings about it because it's normalized. And finally, we transform the sabotage, social injustice, self-destructive behavior, and suicide through taking a moment to connect with someone else. I challenge you today, even as we're doing this Zoom thing, in the chats, connect with someone. Maybe you just want to say hello to someone that you haven't met before. Maybe you want to reach out to someone who said something interesting, or even reach out to me. So that being said, I just want to thank you all for being here. And I am going to actually leave my contact information for you. So if you want to sign up for my mailing list, you can. One thing that I promised my Rotary Action Group here that I would do is I do presentations like this around the world. So if you're interested in having me come to your club or your school, or I don't know, your family party, whatever, just let me know, or reach out to me. But I put in the chat, hopefully you can see the meeting group chat, my contact information. Thank you all for being here, and happy International Youth Day.
Thank you very much, Mike. Am I audible?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mike. It was so wonderful to hear from you. Your insights were so wonderful. We all are here. We all hear so much about normalizing and breaking the stigma surrounding the mental health. But hearing from you, a person who has experienced the bad part, was so wonderful. And I'm sure no one could have been a better person to talk about it. The way you connected with all of us was so wonderful. So keep dazzling, and keep guiding the world as you do. Thank you. Thanks a lot, Mike.
Thank you.
Yeah. So friends, moving ahead, I would now request Dr. Sonal Joshi to take the privilege of introducing Dr. Rita Agarwal. Over to you, Sonal ma'am.
Hello. Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So I'm with immense pleasure. I would like to introduce our beloved Rotarian Rita Agarwal, who is a senior consultant psychologist at Nagpur City, India, since 1992. She is columnist in the largest English daily newspaper, the Hitwada, since 1994, called Emotions, which is very popular. She is charter member and director at Global Rotary Action Group Mental Health Initiatives, which chartered in 2016. She is advisor for District Action Group on Mental Health Initiatives 3030. She is editor of monthly newsletter Mind Matters on Mental Health by Rotary District Action Group on Mental Health. She is director of Global Grant Project Mental Health by Rotary Club of Nagpur, India, and Rotary Club of Naples, Florida, and USA. Over to you, ma'am.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Sonal. Thank you for the wonderful introduction. A very good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening.
A very good evening, good morning, good afternoon to all present here. Today's chief guest, Rotary International Director Aniruddha Roy Chaudhary, Dada, as he is fondly called by Indians, our chair of Rotary Action Group, Rotarian Bob Anthony, my friend and colleague, Bonnie, my Rotary Action Group, other members, board members who may be present here because I can't see all of them, and Mike Vini, an old friend of ours who is always there to speak for us on our forums, to motivate the young ones, and all the dear Rotarians, Rotractors, Interactors, non-Rotarians across the globe. A very, very warm welcome to all of you on behalf of the district chapters of Rotary Action Group India. This event has been led by the district chapter 3030 by Dr. Abha Pimprikar, who's the chair of the chapter. And my big thank you to Abha for her dedication and for her extremely dynamic leadership to put this event together, along with the other chapters. Binoy, a big thank you to you and the district chairs of the other chapters. And a big thanks to Bob for being here with us today to share this wonderful event. Now, what we are doing is moderating. I am here to moderate a panel on the youth because this is International Youth Day and we are celebrating mental health. I've been a psychologist for 30 to 35 to 40 years. And for me, this is an extremely passionate and interesting moment. Just to tell you, friends, India is fortunate to have a huge demographic dividend of youth. 50% of the population of India is below 25 years of age. That is surprising, but there's more to come. 65% of the population of India is below 35 years. Now, how big and huge is that? And it's so wonderful. India is a young country. The Indian population is young. And we have what we call the youth bulge today in India. Besides all this, there is a myth in mental health that a child, a teen, a youth does not suffer any mental health issue because there is a belief system among the adults and the parents that what is the child got to do? All the child has to do is study hard, seek education, make a career, and get into a job, and they have no more other responsibilities to bear. But the reality and the fact is far from the truth. As a psychologist working in the field, we know mental health issues impact us. 50% of the mental health issues impact us when we are in our teens. And it begins, most of the mental health issues show up during these years. Why? Because these are sensitive years. These are formative years. This is a period of growth and development. And this is the period when the teens are shaping their adult personalities. So these experiences at this age are extremely important. As Rotary International President Gordon McNally said in his speech, that the youth knows best the challenges that they are facing because they live those challenges daily in their lives. So here we have a panel of the youth ranging from the age group of 15 to 29, which is the youth range as defined. And we have a brilliant lot of panelists, very courageous, very vocal in their views on mental health. So we have brought in this panel, which I'm going to introduce to you. And we will start. I welcome all the panelists to this show today. And my one question to them is, what according to you are the mental health challenges? And what according to you are some of the initiatives which students at school and college level take to care for themselves and to care for their peers? As Mike Vini said, self-care is the first step to good mental health. So may I invite the first panelist, Sara Pimprikar. Please come online, Sara. Over to you.
Good evening from India, everyone. I am Sara Pimprikar, a first-year BPT student currently studying in Chennai, India. I am a mental health ally and I have been working with the District Action Group on Mental Health Initiatives of Rotary International District 3030 for a while now. I have also shared and expressed my thoughts and feelings on an international platform with Rotary International and UNICEF. Some common mental health disorders that I have seen are anger issues, eating disorders, cyberbullying, communication gaps which lead to more problems. Mental health is a very stigmatized topic and people often shy away from talking about it, which leads to a lot of communication gaps between parents and their children. A child might be going through something and trying really hard to open up about the same, seeking help. But the minute the child's issues are disregarded by it being named just a phase or so, the child stops opening up. Lack of understanding by the parents also leads to the children feeling that they are not being heard. Their opinions, thoughts, and feelings are not being respected, which makes them feel angry, and the child might develop anger issues, which are then triggered even by the smallest of incidents. Considering how much social media affects our life and seeing its ill effects, one of the major ill effects that I have seen is eating disorders and cyberbullying. I often see people wanting to fit in the conventional measures of body and beauty, and this insecurity of people has only been enhanced by social media. Cyberbullying can affect a child a lot. I have seen students who were being cyberbullied, and it eventually started affecting every aspect of their life, including their academics. Because of the stigma around the words mental health and mental health well being, it has become really difficult for the youth to open up and seek help. When we talk about communication gaps and the youth not being able to open up, I think one of the solutions to this is peer support groups. A peer generally always faces the similar set of issues and problems as you do. Who better than a peer to understand what you are going through? Who better than a peer to talk to? And who better than a peer to share all your thoughts without worrying about anything else? A peer, being someone who is at the same level as you are, makes it easier for the both of you to understand and provide each other with the support and comfort you need. This is why peer groups are important. If we set up peer support groups on schools and college levels, we will be able to open up and feel safe about opening up. We can empathize with each other on a greater level. The peer support group students can also identify other students facing issues and reach out to help them. This will ensure that all students feel like they matter. It will make them feel that what they say is important and they are being heard. Setting up peer support groups will only encourage all students to talk about their problems with people who can empathize with them and then get the help and guidance they need from professionals. A young person from Rotary Club of Nashik North recently introduced an online platform, Shield, to educate, protect, support, and guide young adults who are facing emotional turmoil, which has not only affected them academically, but also scarred their natural thoughts, actions, and basic ability to believe in oneself, as well as the society as a whole. If we go to see, there are a lot of resources around us which we can approach to get help. We can talk to each other, open up about our feelings, and get the help we need. If you are not able to find a peer you can trust, you can always reach out to an empathetic adult. It might be a teacher, an elder sibling, a relative, or even your parent. Let's all normalize the talk about mental health, break the stigma, and help support and nurture each other. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sarah. You were so brilliant. I love this idea of peer support systems because in our global grant project at Nagpur in 5 schools, we are introducing the peer support system among the 9th, 10th, and 11th standard students. Thank you, Sarah. May I invite Parth now to talk about his views, opinions, and his initiatives. Parth.
Good evening, everyone. I am Parth Pannase. I am a retractor, a part of the Global Grant Team, District 3030, and a first-year MBBS student who is pursuing medicine. So I am here to speak about an initiative which is called Circle Time, in which youths pool in themselves and they have become ready to jump in the games of life and talk about the various problems youth face. So one of the major problems youth face is their peer. Peers are something that brings us joy as well as loneliness. It's a mixed, they influence our behavior, decisions, our attitudes, and sometimes risky behaviors like substance abuse. As along with that, there's delinquency or getting involved. There is FOMO, which is a new term which is introduced, that is fear of missing out. It also influences self-esteem and decision-making. Peer pressure at sometimes does create a sense of isolation for people who resist confronting and can lead to the feelings of loneliness and a fear of judgment. And it can also lead them to not seek professional help, which is quite common, peers not appearing for professional help. According another thing that is a great thing, that is parental expectations. I think everyone has went through that phase. My personal story was that my parents did influence one thing, that was my career choice. Now, what do parents do? They tell the child how to behave, how to act, what to do, what not to do. So they judge you from academic performance to career choices, relationships, and sometimes expectations can be unrealistic. So young people, they are obliged to fulfill their parental expectations and end up pursuing paths that do not align with their own interests or passions, and make feel a person. There's internal conflict and a decreased sense of self-worth. Another thing, they are jealous and are disappointed, easily disappointed by small things. And love, relationships are very complex. Here they feel that they are understood at a point or they are not understood at a point. But it's about that the youth needs to be understood. It's when there are intense emotions, there's excitement, sense of companionship. And at the same time, the person is vulnerable, insecure, and heartbroken if it doesn't work out. One thing, which an initiative which we have begun in our college, our university, is that it's called as a Circle Time Club, or in short, CTC. So what is Circle Time Club? So Circle Time Club is a way you get away from your real life and come with the real people in green spaces. So in Circle Time, we gather in a circle, engage ourselves in various activities which are designed to foster connection, empathy, personal growth, and humility. We begin from icebreakers, and we have shared laughs and experiences are shared with the topic of discussion of the day. The topic of discussion can be strong, or it can be about social issues, about anything that can range from tiniest happy memory to something deep down, which can be a sad, to heal those wounds that are left untouched. Makes a getaway from our hectic lives and a lookout to the world with a new perspective. In our recent Circle Time session, we started with giving the next person to us 3 sentences. 2 of them were true and 1 of them was false. So they had to guess according to what we were looking at. Can he judge me on the sentences on what I am guessing? Then we moved on by telling about the discussion, which was about an event in your life that changed something within you, may it be small or large. We heard sad stories and also funny ones. And finally, we talked about how most of us were not choosing medicine willingly and ended up here, which was a very not a common thing to say. And it is. So I encourage most of you to create your own Circle Time Club. And in the end of the Circle Time, there's a small thing we do is recall what we learned from it. So engage with your peers, talk about things, whether it be your enemy or friend, talk it openly. So when you talk it, you can be cheerful, and it is like a journey you go on with those acquaintances of yours, and we foster more real life connection than the real life we are living in. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Parth. It was so very, very interesting. And I'm sure a lot of people would like your idea of Circle Time, and they would like to reach out to you to tell them how to conduct it in their schools or colleges, of course. You're in medical school. Thank you so much for sharing your opinion and your initiative. May I invite the third panelist?
Interrupt here, take a minute. We have already received requests in the chat box, requesting the same. So I will be sharing our contact details at the end of the meeting. So please send us messages and mails, and we will try to work it out. Thank you so much. Over to you, ma'am.
Parth, you are going to receive a lot of emails now requesting you to tell people how to Circle Time. Thank you so much. Our third panelist today is a young girl from another country, Bangladesh. And she's going to tell us about her initiatives and what her opinions are on the mental health issues and challenges with the youth are facing in her area and country. Jaren, may I invite you, please? Jaren.
Hello, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes, please go ahead.
Good evening. I am Road Director Jarin Reshni Prabha. I'm a student of Fine Arts, Khulna University, Bangladesh. I'm currently serving as Director, Club Service Committee, Rotary Club of Khulna University, Rotary year 2023 to 24, Rotary International District 3281, Bangladesh. At first, I would like to thank the
organizing team for such a wonderful event. I'm very glad to participate in the seminar. Thanks again for giving me the opportunity to deliver my speech. Well, in today's world, young people are suffering the most in terms of their mental health. If we try to find out the causes of mental health problems in young people in around the world or in my community, we can see anxiety, depression, social isolation, and loneliness are the major causes here. Depression and anxiety is a common mental disorder, but if we notice at social isolation, we can see social isolation is the lack of social contacts and having few people to interact with regularly. You can live alone and not feel lonely or socially isolated, and you can feel lonely while being with other people. Using drugs and child abuse, prolonged illness, also the causes of mental health problems. Have we ever thought at this moment what the efforts youth can do for self-help and helping in peers? Undoubtedly, I can say that the youth generation must first be self-aware to ensure their mental health. Bringing awareness to mental health isn't a one and done task. It takes work from each and every one of us year round. However, some activities can play an effective role in protecting the mental health or self-help of our youth generation, such as I think get into life, doing things that are enjoyable and provide a sense of purpose, which is essential to good mental health, learn new skills for tough times, create connections with people, get enough sleep, stay active in co-curricular activities, eat well, cut back on alcohol and other drugs. I think the current youth generation can increase awareness by attending various mental health related seminars. They may be directly connected with various organizations dealing with mental health. In this, they can ensure their own mental health as well as spread the importance of mental health in their community. So far, there has been a lot of discussion. Do you want to hear a story of mine? I was a first year student. One of our senior committed suicide. He was a very active man. We never imagined that we have to witness this tragic situation. After that, I have started something new in my locality for welfare of mental health. We created a letterbox named Moner Baksho. Moner Baksho is a Bengali word that means the box of our mind. Our university students give their letter in the box and a psychologist take them and conduct a session or treatment according their problem. We also arrange some counseling session of our university students. A 5-year sustainable project has also been undertaken by Rotary International District 3281 Bangladesh. 64 seminars will be organized in schools and colleges of Bangladesh. Both have been operationalized and a helpline number will be launched after the seminar is over, where Rotaractors will do counseling in a primary way. We dream of a complete mental well-being. We dream of a world of cooperation. Famous psychologist Dr. Noam Shufansar said, mental health is not a destination, but a process. It's about how you drive, not where you are going. I would like to inform the world on behalf of Bangladesh. We cannot solve this problem completely at this moment, but let us all take on and work to show people the way to solve the problem. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much, Jared. Thank you. You spoke so beautifully, and we love your social initiative called Letterbox, which is Moner Baksho. I love that word. And thank you so much for all the good initiatives that you will be taking, like the helpline and the seminars for the youth, maybe by the youth as well. Now, on our panel, we have a few more very courageous and young people wanting to share their stories of suffering and their stories of recovery. May I invite first Sachin? Over to you, Sachin. Is he there? Or we can go over to the next panelist. He's there. Thank you for joining us, Sachin.
I guess he has a poor network. Maybe we can give him a next chance.
All right. So we'll keep him. Sachin, are you willing to speak or you'd like to wait? Okay. So let's go over to our next panelist, a very young girl, 15 years old, from 10th standard, called Sambhavi, and a very extremely confident and chubby and cheerful little girl wanting to tell us her story. Over to you, Sambhavi. Welcome to the panel. What is the? Yes, Sambhavi. You're not audible. Loud. Make your sound louder. So there are network issues. Louder.
Shambhavi, you will have to unmute. Your video is perfect. You will have to unmute yourself, beta.
She's not on mute, but you will have to speak up a bit louder, Sambhavi. Please go ahead. No, you're not audible.
She's the youngest on our panel, 15 years old, 10th standard, very brave, very courageous. And you'd love what she has to say.
No, Sambhavi, better you could use a headphone. It would be better. Yes.
Should we go over to the next while she prepares herself?
Yes.
So may I invite Avantika?
Hello, am I audible?
Yeah. Yes,
Hi,
Avantika,
everyone.
please go ahead.
Yeah. Hi, everyone. I'm Avantika. I'm 22 years old from Maharashtra, that is in India. We're from a very small city. And I work professionally in cybersecurity. But that's not what I want to talk about today. I want to talk about something that is considered pretty much a taboo, especially in India, which is gender and sexuality and how that affects mental health. So growing up, I was treated as a boy because, hey, I was born in a man's body, and I'm forced to do things that are restricted. I'm supposed to not like the pink color, and I'm supposed to not do this and not do that. I'm restricting myself because of the societal expectations. And turns out that's not good. Well, spoiler alert, obviously that's going to affect my mental health. And how it affected was very drastic. I went into depression, I had my anxiety attacks, and eventually that all of stuff builds up, and it led to me having a couple of suicide attempts, which was not that great. So what can be done here? Obviously, I'm not alone, and I'll never be. But what I meant to say is that there are other people around you, maybe in your society, maybe in a college, or maybe just around you, who are also going through the same. They are restricting themselves from expressing who they are and just not being true to themselves because of the expectations from the world, because they want to fit in. And I want to request you, just single thing, accept the people for who they are, let them be, and just let them be, and you're gonna be fine. So I want to keep it very short, and I haven't prepared any speech or so, but I wanted it to be as raw as possible. And all of the panelists over here, I think there are about 200 people. I just wanted to leave you with one question. Are you accepting yourself? Are you loving yourself the way you wanted to? Are you being the person that you always dreamed of? I want to leave you to that question and maybe give it a thought or something. Or you can reach out to me if you want to talk about it. So yeah, thank you so much for giving me opportunity. Thank you.
You, Avantika. That's a very, very sensitive and touching story. Rotary as an organization believes in diversity, inclusivity, and equality. And Rotary accepts all types of people and all types of people in different forms and shapes. Thank you for sharing your story with us. Thank you for being so courageous and bold. Thank you for coming forward and sharing that with us. May I invite Madhura, another young person who would like to share her story of recovery and suffering. Madhura, please. Yes, Madhura, over to you.
Yeah. Am I audible? All right. So good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to all the members and all the people present today. I am Madhura. I am associated with the Rotary Club Nagpur. Just a moment, yeah. I'm associated with the Rotary Club Nagpur regarding the project, mental health global grant project. Also, today I'm going to talk about a very important topic. We normally have, mental health is a vast topic. There are a number of reasons that we get mental health issues or maybe problems. But the one thing that we don't talk about is relationships. There are so many problems and so many issues going on with it. So I would like to share my story, and it's quite emotional for me. Maybe I'll burst out, but I know you all will cope up with that. So a few years back, I was in a relationship with a guy. So we were together for 5 long years. He was a guy who was approved by my parents, and initially everything was very good. It was smooth, all the things were going right, and I was very certain that, okay, this is the guy that I want to get married to. It was not just me, but it was my parents who agreed to that yes, you have got a perfect person, he is amazing and all that stuff. So actually it turned out to something very traumatic for me. Slowly and steadily, I saw his red flags, or what we call today. So initially it was like, okay, it happens. Maybe I don't know this part of this person. But then it turned out to be very bad. It turned out to be very horrible. I was controlled. I was told that you should not wear this kind of clothes. I was told that you can't talk with these kind of people. It turned out to be abusive at a point. He used to hit me. He used to choke me. It was bad. It was very bad. And I was told that I was not good for him. Still, I was like, okay, I loved him from my heart. My mind used to say that, no, this is not right. This is not right. Something is wrong. But my heart told me, okay, you should give him a chance. I gave him a chance. And I didn't talk about it to anyone, nobody. But finally, I was not able to handle that situation. I spoke to my parents. I spoke to my friends about it. And they helped me to come out of it. It was not an easy decision, coming out from a relationship. That person so much, he was a world for you, and suddenly this thing is happening, and yeah, it was difficult. It was very difficult. But now I'm happy. I'm on a very good stage. It took me a long time, but I want to say that, as Mike has said, you feel ashamed, you be silence, you don't want to tell, you don't want to talk about it. Same thing happened with me. I never wanted to talk about it. I was like, okay, I'll do it, I'll control, I'll handle it myself. But no, it's not like that. Please have an open communication. Please talk about your problems. That is the only way that you can get help. And I'm I feel very privileged to be on the stage, because this is the first time that I'm talking about my personal situation to all. So it is very what do I say? I'm very much emotional today. So thank you so much. Thank you, Rita ma'am, for having me here. And thank you all.
Thank you, Madhura. I'm sure there are a lot of people in this platform who are empathizing with you, and you are not alone. And I can assure you that there are lots of us who go through relationship problems. When we discover the bad side of the rosy relationship, and our dreams get shattered. But it's all about growing up and struggling and thriving and striving. Thank you so much, Madhura. May I invite Sachin? May I invite Sachin again to this platform? Are you there?
Good evening. Am I audible
Yeah.
to you now?
Yeah, over to you, Sachin, please.
Yes, thank you. So my name is Sachin. I'm a 24-year working right now in Thane, Central India. Basically, as ma'am said, mental issues. So as I see it, there are two major mental health problems that youth in India, specifically in my view, are suffering, which is anxiety and depression. The first is anxiety. Specifically in Indian culture or in Asian culture, we have this slogan called "Parents are God," and children should obey them. Because of which, till the age of 21, I believe, children never take that decision on their own. The parents are always there to take the decisions on behalf of them, which is why they lack this real world experience. They don't know the consequences of their choices, and they don't know anything, and that confuses them. Basically, the fear of they get this fear of making little choices about themselves, and that creates anxiety that if I don't if I make the right choice, what will happen? Because of they try to isolate themselves from the choices itself, and that comes with the second mental issue that I want to talk about: depression. Depression is in a lot of forms, but as I see it, as I said, the parents are God slogan. If we go by it, there is a structure that we can identify is in which parents are basically not just there for the children, but also they want to be in a society. So they want to please that society, people pleasing, and that's why they compare the children to other people's child, right? And that's how child get more depressed. They feel alone, they lose the hope altogether to that I'm not a good child. I don't think that I will ever be able to satisfy my parents choices. And that's how the whole hierarchy starts. And the whole problem here is it's a big issue. I'm not much experienced in, only I know about myself, because I was in depression for a couple of years. So in my last year of the degree, when COVID was a new thing, and at that moment I had this constant pressure on myself that I have to make a career choice, and it was not me to decide which career I should go ahead. It was my parents who were telling me to which career to choose from. And the future's possibility that so what if something goes wrong, what if I don't make the right choices? Because of it, I was anxious about it altogether, and I started losing hope altogether, and I fell into depression. I felt useless all the time, and after a certain time there was a constant urge to kill myself as well, as because there was no point in living. There was nothing else to be done. But at that moment, I met a counselor from Rotary Club who helped me not to just get out of the depression, but to also know myself. Counseling is not easy part. People think that just by going to 2-3 sessions will make them feel good about themselves or nothing of that sort. It's a very long process. You have to work hard like you're doing your homework while you're completing the assignments and while you're working for a project. So it's a long process. It took me a year to get out of it. It took me a year constantly, in which there were times when I stopped going to counseling altogether. I've started to figure out that maybe it's just that I'm too damaged to repair, but there was nothing like that. I just had to work myself in it, and that's how things were good. But sometimes even I ran from the sessions itself. I cried my heart out, but later on when I stopped going altogether, then I started to realize that now if as I'm not going, I'm getting much worse than I was before. And that's how I went to, and now it's been a year and now I'm out of the depression zone. Sometimes it still comes back because it's not just that you're gonna survive just for 2 years. It's a long process. Sometimes once in a week, not say, but once in a while, you get this urge back again. You feel that numbness and the void inside again, but you have to go ahead. My message would be to young people is it's okay. It is very okay to feel that way, and it's very hard to take the first step, but believe me, once you do, you're gonna be proud of that choice. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Sachin, for being courageous enough to share your story with us and to give a lot of hope to the youngsters that they must reach out. Counseling is not an easy process, but they should not give up and they should always be hopeful. This year's Rotary slogan is creating hope in the world. And we do hope that what you have said will give all the youngsters a big ray of hope. May I call Sambhavi? I hope she's okay with her mic and audio systems. Sambhavi.
Hello, my name is Sambhavi. I study in class 10 from Chanda Devi Saraf School, India. My problem was that my father was no more when I was 7 years old, and from there many issues took place, like my joint family was converted to a nuclear family, and all family members blamed my mother that this all had happened because of her. This impacts environment of our house, which started disturbing my studies, health issues, and insomnia, like unable to sleep at all. I even could not trust a single person.
Issues. We can't hear you, Sambhavi. Sorry.
To overthink a lot, and
Can you switch off your video and just speak into your mobile, please? Sambhavi.
She's frozen, I guess. She has a poor network.
So what do we do? I really wanted to hear her out and give her a chance. She's the youngest child on our panel.
Yes.
And she has been very cooperative and very excited about the whole thing. She wanted to share her story with the young people in the world and tell what she suffered and how she got out of it. She's a very, very sweet girl. I wish her all the best. So this takes care of our panel discussion today. And all I need to conclude now is that today's youth is tomorrow's adult. They are going to take over the world and take over the society. And therefore, the only ways to go ahead is generating awareness, removing the stigma, making systematic interventions in schools, in colleges, in generating more and more awareness, and young people coming forward and taking their initiatives for peer support systems, circle time, Monir Box Show, and all such wonderful initiatives which the youth are taking for self-care. And if self-care doesn't work, of course, you can always reach out to a professional clinical psychologist or a psychiatrist. There's always help at the other end of the spectrum. And I would just end my panel discussion today by saying, please take care of your mind. Your mental health is as important as your physical health, if not more, and keep doing good to the world. Thank you so much, and God bless.
Thank you so much, Rita ma'am. Thank you so much, dear panelists. With this, actually, we realize that we have so much work to do. First of all, viewers, namaste from India. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, as per the time zones. Sorry, I could not connect with you all earlier as I had some connectivity issues. Coming back to the program, DAGMI 3030, that is District Action Group on Mental Health Initiatives from Rotary District 3030, have been conducting some awareness programs and celebrating World Mental Health Day, that is 10th October, since the year 2020. We did one awareness competition in the year 2020. After that, we, consolidated the work to register ourselves as a chapter for RAGMI. Soon after that, we have been doing some programs on every 10th of October. This year, we thought of going global, and this was a wonderful opportunity to communicate with all. And now, after listening to the panelists, I feel that it was a very nice decision that we did not restrict ourselves to our district or to India, and we thought of going global. So I'm very happy about that. At the same time, I realize that our responsibility with the initiative has increased many folds. Luckily, I have many other chapters. We were the first chapter to be formed in 2021, but luckily I have many chapters from across the globe, 4 of them from India, including ours, to take this initiative ahead. And as one of the panelists said, that it will not, all the problems will not be solved in one go, but we are on the right track, and we will come on, we will keep, continue our work in the field. Now I take this opportunity to invite one of my board members, Agastya Munim. He is our director projects. He is also the brain behind the SHIELD project that one of the panelists mentions in her speech. I request Agastya that you take over and introduce our next speaker, Kartika. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. It is an immense pleasure to introduce our today's esteemed speaker, Kartika Venkatesh. She holds a master's degree in engineering from the prestigious Anna University in Chennai and currently serves as a principal technical officer at CDAC Bangalore. Kartika is a highly skilled researcher and co-investigator with an impressive track record spanning over 12 years. Her contribution includes co-inventing 3 patents till date. Today, we have the privilege of having her among us to present a digital app known as Manas, the Mental Health and Normalcy Augmentation System. As a leading investigator of Manas, she brings a wealth of knowledge on this innovation system. We extend our sincere gratitude to you, ma'am, for gracing us with your presence today. Over to you, ma'am. Thank you.
Good evening, good morning, and good afternoon to everyone. First of all, I'd like to thank the Rotary for organizing such an event, and it is so inspiring to hear to the stories of the youth, and they are coming out and sharing to their peers, saying that you are not alone, we have handled it and you can also do that. And thank you so much, Dr. Rita Agarwal, Director and Chair of the Chapters of India and Asia, specifically the Mental Health Initiative, for giving me this opportunity to introduce Manas in this particular forum. And I'll share my screen. Can you please tell me whether you are able to see the screen?
Yes, it is visible.
Okay. So I represent CDAC Bangalore here, and this is a project called MANAS, Mental Health and Normalcy Augmentation System. So just to introduce what CDAC is. CDAC is Center for Development of Advanced Computing. It's a premier R&D organization under Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology, MeitY. And we work on various areas under information technology and IT, that is cybersecurity, Internet of Things, healthcare solution, smart grid solution, ICT for social welfare, high performance computing. The first supercomputer of India was made from CDAC. And still we have a lot of Param computers which are there in various R&D institutions and colleges. The students are using it. And we have heritage and language computing. And we also have advanced computing training schools. In Bangalore, we have two centers, Electronic City and in Bayapanahalli Knowledge Park. Specifically in social welfare sector, we work on mental wellness, and we have worked on bringing Indian accessibility standards and adaptable learning solutions for children with autism and mild mental retardation, intellectual disabilities, advanced epilepsy research, and we work on accessible interfaces, accessibility, intelligent navigation solutions, and brain-computer interfaces. This is an overview of CDAC. You can go to cdac.in to know more about our projects. To speak about the presentation that we are making now, that is about the product MANAS. As we were speaking throughout this event, it is about prevention and early intervention of mental health, which is very important. Like how we take care of our body by doing exercises, going to gym, doing yoga, and so on. Our mental health is equally important, where we will have to take up self-care practices in order to prevent to getting into an illness stage. So what kind of early interventions that one can do in order to keep our positive mental health? So that was the focus of this particular project. So we started the project in 2020. However, our union budget report in 2021-22 also emphasizes on the mental illness spectrum. So 14% of India's population live with some form of mental illness, and there exist 72 to 92% of various mental health disorders. And in India, we do have a scarcity of the mental health workers, that is 0.6 mental health workers for 1 lakh population. However, this was a report in 2014. Now it would have significantly been increased, and government is taking a lot of initiatives to increase it. And with respect to MANAS, it is an initiative from the Office of Principal Scientific Advisor, Government of India, and it is supported by Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, Government of India. And it is executed by our CDAC, Center for Development of Advanced Computing, Bangalore, and NIMHANS. It is a National Institute for Mental Health and Neurosciences, and Armed Forces Medical College, Pune. And it is hosted at our National Informatics Center, Government of India. This was conceptualized in 2020 from the Office of PSA, Government of India, where they found that there is a gap in the mental wellness area, that is in the positive mental health. And then it was presented to the PM STAC committee, that is Scientific Technology and Advisory Council, Government of India. And then we proposed a project, to create a platform, platform where we can bring in all mental wellness content, which are indigenously developed for India by Indian researchers and national institutes, so that it suits the population in India. So this was a joint work where we had support from Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, Ministry of Information Technology, Electronics and Information Technology, NIC, and Society of Electronics and Transaction Security. So all these people were involved in the project to make the project secure, scalable, so that it can cater to everyone in India. The focus was to target different age groups, to provide different wellness package for different age groups. So if we see from 0 to 4 years, we need parent support and positive nurturing, positive reinforcements coming from the parents. And then 5 to 9 years, it is parents as well as teachers and peers who will be part of our mental health, and because we expand our circle in the school. And 10 to 14 years, we start self-supervising what is wrong in me, what is the problems that I face, and we try to build our life skills and study techniques. 15 to 20 years is again a very crucial period wherein the students migrate in from their student to building their own career. There they face a lot of mental health issues. And 21 to 35 years, which is also a stressful period where they are just getting into their jobs and trying to place themselves in their job, in their position. So these young adults, so these set of people, they can supervise themselves, they keep inquiring themselves what is the problems in them, and they keep correcting themselves. So this is the two age groups which we initially targeted in order to cater the wellness packages with the help of NIMHANS and AFMC. And later on, we will expand it to the other age groups as well, like 36 to 65 years, 66 years, that is elderly groups, and then the special group of women and so on. So as a work, we had three pillars. One is to build a Manas app and a dashboard where we can see how the people are responding to the packages that are being developed. And we also parallelly conducted Manas Mitra webinars where, like this particular event, we had a lot of ASHA workers, the field workers who come and share their experiences, the doctors who come and share the practices that they follow and what we can follow in our work areas, and what challenges do women especially face in rural, urban areas. So like this, we conducted around 8 webinars, which are available in YouTube, which you can go and take a look at. And Manmeet is also a community connect program, which was specifically for the ASHA workers to come and share their experiences of how they handle the mental health issues in the PHCs and the wellness centers. This is an overview of the Manas app. The Manas app has a concept of nurturing yourself. So this concept of nurturing yourself is brought into the app by building a tree. So when you're signing into the app, you are asked to select a seed, which grows from a seed to sapling to a tree as you nurture yourself through the modules that are there in the app. And there are different modules that are available, as you see here: good sleep, mindfulness, time smart, and so on. And there are also various contents that are provided by ministries of India. Ministry of Education has a specific content for wellness made for children. And there are various ministries who has developed and worked on this mental health spectrum. We have collated all those materials and it is available in the treasure section. And this is a self-introspection app wherein we are voluntarily going and checking, okay, I have a sleep problem. What may be my problem? So I go and I fill in a questionnaire or I take up certain tests in order to understand myself. So it's in the preventive spectrum. But if you feel that you want to connect to a psychologist, you want to speak to someone who is an expert, then we have the helplines which are available in the app. And also we have connected the WHO scale for mental well-being. So that well-being scale is also available for you to understand your own well-being. So the first module that I'm going to say about is Time Smart. Time Smart is, we all face problems in managing our time. We all feel we run out of time to do all our works and there are always works pending and so on. So how do I smartly manage my time? what kind of factors that affect my time, what takes up more time, what takes up less time. So if I have to analyze myself, there are various tasks which are there available in this module, which will help you to analyze the time that you are spending. And it also allows you to make plans, set reminders to remind you what you have to do, whether you spent your time mindfully and so on. The next module is good sleep, which helps you to analyze your sleep patterns, and what affects your sleep, the factors that affect your sleep, how to change your environment, what kind of practices, breathing practices that you can do, that that will help you to improvise your sleep. And all these practices has been developed based on scientific and evidence-based research, which has been conducted in the national institutes like NIMHANS and AFMC. So those are digitized and brought to you in a very interactive form through this app. And very important thing that people find challenging is connecting with others, giving gratitude to the all the blessings that we receive from the nature, and how do we thank others, how do we interact with others. So all these are challenges which we face in daily activities. So this module specifically addresses on how to build connects, how to speak to others, and how to thank them. And there are some games and interesting activities which will allow you to, like as you see, giving and receiving. Daily I give something to someone, I feel very happy about it. I also receive, so I should be, I should be thankful for everything that I receive. So like that, it helps you to understand what is happening in my daily life, so that we practice that gratitude and move ahead in our lives. So that is about the Deep Connect module. And we have a mindfulness module. We face this challenge every day. Like as I am cooking, I'm having my thoughts somewhere else. As I'm working, my mind is somewhere else. So there is this concentrating on the task that we do, and then being mindful at that situation, and then pocket our time in order to do that task at that point of time with our complete concentration is challenging for many people. How do I accomplish that? What kind of practices that I can take so that I can gradually improve my mindfulness? So there are some attention games. So there are some practices that you can follow. So these practices are available in the mindfulness module, which will help you to develop the skill of mindfulness, which will help in your mental health. Emotion wise, we face emotions, we express emotions, it affects others, but we don't understand what is the underlying cause of that emotion. And it's very hard to share our emotions. Sometimes we tend to show our anger on our close ones. But as you can see in the right hand side, you are seeing an anger iceberg. So you can see that anger is an emotion that comes out, that you express, whereas the underlying emotion for you to express that anger is either a rejection, disappointment. So what causes that anger? How can I correct myself? How can I handle my emotions? How do I express my emotions? So all these are handled in the emotion wise module. And there is social connectedness. You encounter a lot of people in your life, friend, a colleague, partner, community, parents, teacher, and neighbors. So for everyone, you have a different pattern of how you interact with them, right? So you use a different set of words with them. Your communications are different with them. And then you may want to show empathy to certain people. Someone has lost their loved one. How do you talk to them? So all these things are available in the social connectedness module, which helps you to, how do you talk and interact with people and extend your support to them. That is provided in the social connectedness module. All these modules are available both in Hindi and English, and it is available. The app is available in Google Play Store. You can scan this QR code and download the app, or you can search Manas and you can download the app. And if you have any difficulties, you can reach out to us at support-manas@cdac.in. And this concludes my talk, but I'd like to thank all the organizers of Rotary and all the speakers over here for giving a really inspiring talk. And this has been a great learning experience for me, for being here and listening to all your talk. Thank you so much to Dr. Rita Agarwal and Dr. Abha, who is coordinating and leading this show. Thank you for giving this opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you so
You,
much.
Kartikeya. You are doing wonderful work. And we are really amazed to know that the government of India is releasing this app. As I know from you, you are going to take this app forward and introduce much more dimensions to it and domains to it as you progress. Am I right on that?
Yes, absolutely. We are working on building more contents into the app, and we are also having our event, Manas Codeathon, where people can go and check in the manasmitra.in website, where we are inviting people to submit their contents, so that we can include into the app. So, and we go through a strict process of including these content into the app, because it will be reviewed by the domain experts and the security experts before it gets into the app. So we are building more contents in different.
One more
age
question, Kartika. If it is available on the Play Store, I'm sure it is not restricted to only the Indian people.
Yeah, currently we have this Indian, it is tailor-made for Indian, but we will be soon extending to other countries.
Wow, wonderful. You're doing very well, and we thank you for all the good work that you're doing in this field.
Thank you so
God
much.
bless you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for taking out the time from your busy schedule. While looking at your introduction, I know how busy you must be, because you seem to be a creative mind in a different way. And of course, that is helping us all in the future. Now we are almost reached to the end of our program. But before that, I would like to inform you all a few things. One, is Rita ma'am had proposed this idea of celebrating World Mental Health Day, that is 10th October, on a global level. Before that, as I told you earlier, we were sharing it at on the district level or at the India level. This is the time that we are going global, and we thought of doing it in a series of 3 programs. So this is the first program. There are 2 more programs that are in the planning phase. One is on the account of World Suicide Prevention Day. The date is 10th September, but most probably we will be doing that program on 9th. And of course, the major day, that is the World Mental Health Day, 10th October. So as and when the program details are finalized, we will be sharing that with you all. Also, DAGMI 3030, that is the District Action Group on Mental Health Initiatives, District 3030 India, has been conducting few competitions since past 2 years just to create mental health awareness. The competitions are always free and open for all. Rotarians, non-Rotarians, any age group can join our competitions. We call it Manonmesh, that is a Hindi name, also known as Mind Your Mind. This time we are doing season 3 of that particular competition, and this time it is going to be a poem writing competition. You can write these poems preferably in English and Marathi, but you can write the poems in the regional languages as well. Of course, we must get some person expert in the language. We will be having the mental health experts, but we need some expert in that particular language to understand what you're trying to say through the local language. So Manonmesh 3.0, Mind Your Mind, poem writing competition. I will soon be sharing the details with you all in the WhatsApp group or on the email IDs that you have provided with us. So please participate, please share, it is open for all. Now over to you, Parna, for the vote of thanks.
Thank you, Avama. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We stand here today grateful for the insightful discourse that unfolded during this remarkable event on mental health. With heartful gratitude, we extend our thanks to all the distinguished individuals who contributed their expertise and insights to make this event a resounding success. Our sincere appreciation goes to Bob Anthony, Chair of Rotary Action Group on Mental Health Initiatives, whose vision and dedication drive initiatives that break barriers surrounding mental health. We extend our gratitude to Chief Guest Anirudh Roy Chaudhary Sir, RI Director, for his unwavering support and commitment to fostering mental well-being. A special note of thanks to Mike Vanny, the celebrated motivational speaker and a RAGMHI member, for breaking the stigma. His impactful words have ignited hope and understanding. We express our heartfelt thanks to Rita Agarwal ma'am, Director and Chair of Chapters Asia Rotary Action Group Mental Health Initiative, who skillfully moderated the engaging panel discussion. Her guidance ensured a thoughtful exchange of ideas among our dynamic young leaders. We are immensely thankful to Kartika, Principal Technical Officer at CDEC Bangalore, for introducing Manas, the pioneering digital app by the Government of India, a beacon of support for mental health. Appreciation is due to our esteemed panelists, Sara Pimprikar, Parth Panase, Jarin Prova, Sachin Purohit, Sambhavi, Avantika, and Madhura Bhagat, whose intersections between mental health and youth. Our gratitude extends to Rotarian Binoy Momaya for his invaluable technical support and sharing seamless connectivity through the virtual medium. A heartfelt acknowledgement to our diligent social media team led by Khushi Agarwal and Rotarian Rotractor Nikunj Bajoria for their creative ideation. We also thank DRR Rahul Acharya and PDRR Rahul Mohite for their dedication and execution with flyer design. Lastly, we thank our MCs for the evening, Dr. Abha Primprikar and Rotarian Binoy Momaya, for the smooth conduct of the evening. We are ever thankful to Rotary Action Group Mental Health Initiative and District Action Group Mental Health Initiative India, Rotary Action Group and its India chapters on mental health initiatives. In conclusion, we thank every participant, viewer, and supporter who joined us on this enlightening journey. Together, we amplify the conversation around mental health and pave the way for a more empathetic and inclusive future. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Parna. Viewers and participants, I would like to inform you that Parna had been quite instrumental when it came to reaching the road tractors, because this program, since we are doing it on the occasion of International Youth Day, we were focusing on youth mental health. So we were to reach the road tractors as well as interactors, and she was quite instrumental in that. Another thing that I want to add, that the Rahul twins, Rahul Acharya and Rahul Mohite, together in 2 days, these boys have made almost 250 flyers. They were managing their work, and as and when they were getting time, they were making flyers for us. And we were giving, them multiple calls and multiple instructions, and they were quite patient with us. At this point, I would like to give a special thanks to Binoy. He has been my co-host, RSVP, as we have put in our flyers, and he has tolerated me for the last 1 month. So thank you, Binoy. Of course, thank you, my co-host, all the district chapters on mental health initiatives, India. And last but most important, Rita ma'am, who has been a strong support of Pillar, always. In fact, it is her brain that we have started the district chapters all across the globe. As I said, we were the first chapter, so it was her idea. Then it is her idea that we have started a magazine, which is an e-magazine by the name Mind Matters. Yesterday, we published our 30th issue. So we have completed more than 2.5 months that we have been completing the magazine quite regularly. So she always comes with some new ideas, and we try our level best to work on it. I hope today also we have succeeded in some extent to reach the purpose for which we had planned and executed this event. Thank you, everyone. Thanks for joining.
Thank you, Abha. It would be my great desire to listen to some children who have joined us from maybe Nigeria or USA or UK or Malaysia. Is there, Binoy, is there a way we can allow a few people,
You could,
young
if
people?
anyone, yes, if anyone wants to speak, you can just raise your hand.
Just raise your hand and express yourself. It'd be so lovely to hear from youth outside India. Anybody, please.
I have allowed you
Because-
to unmute yourself, so you know.
People have taken the trouble to join us from across the globe.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Yes, please put the spotlight on the speaker. Yeah.
Marcus.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon. This is Marcus. I'm connecting from UK. I'm from Nigeria. I thank you all, because I so much enjoyed the program. Thank you for the host and thank you for the speaker. Thank you.
Wow, thank you so much. It's so nice of you to come and spend time with us. Anybody else, please?
Yeah, from
Ma'am. Yeah. Connectivity.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Anybody else?
My name is Mariam.
Yes.
Abdullahi.
You are listening to Rotarian Agambiri from Ghana, from the Rotary Club of Wa.
125 Nigeria. We want to say thank you to all of the wonderful part. We appreciate, and then we thank Dr. Raul to catch us again someday.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Can I speak? My
Yeah,
name
please.
is Alida Aaron. I am here in Miami, Florida, and I had lost a daughter to my mental health, but we are trying to do some mental health work in Miami, Florida. And Imelda is online. She is also in Miami in our same Rotary Club of Miami Airport. We would love to get more involved, and we will like to participate in September and October. Maybe if somebody could let one of our members from Key Clubhouse do a presentation to let you know what's going on in Miami. We started
Yes.
a place, it's a clubhouse model, and we would love to talk about it. I don't want to take too much time. I'll put my telephone number in the chat and email address.
Thank you so much. Thank you so
Great
much.
program.
Yes,
I enjoyed
we'll
it.
remember that. We'll remember that. Thank you.
Ma'am, we will
Anybody
connect
else?
with you shortly and we will take this discussion ahead. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Anybody else? Because now it's 8 o'clock and some of you must be wanting to get into another activity.
Daniel is trying to say something. Daniel?
Yeah, please, please.
Yes, thanks. I'm Daniel Beltran from Chihuahua, Mexico. I belong in a Rotarian club here in my town. I'm a psychologist too. I've been working like 15 years about these things. I want to thank all the organizers, all the panelists, all the young people that could be this possible. And please keep going doing this.
Thank you.
Thank you, Daniel.
It's so nice to hear your sentiments.
Someone from 9125 has raised hand. I'm not
Please,
able to
please. I
pronounce.
would love to hear people and their
Yeah, this is Rotarian
What's his name?
from Accra, Ghana. Just to let you know that Rotarians from Ghana were on the call. We represented massively. And thanks so much for the forum, the platform. Thanks for the initiative. It is something we are looking forward carrying up. And then we will form a good partnership. Thank you.
Very nice. So we look forward to a district chapter in your district, Ghana.
Yes, we are.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Anybody else?
Good afternoon.
Yep.
Yes.
This is Rotarian Olasukomi from Nigeria.
Okay.
Yeah. Hello. I'm from NG. I'm from District 9125 from Nigeria. I want to commend the organizers of this seminar. It's encouraging, even at this point in time. A lot of people are going through, mental stress. And for this one is a kudos from India. And a lot of us are online. We are actually participating in a large number. So I want to commend your efforts and to tell you that we are keyed into everything that you are doing. We are following you back to back.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you for your time and efforts. Yes.
The lesson here from the Philippines. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Hey, so I guess you could hear me. Yeah, I just want to share my 2 cents. Just wanted to say congratulations and very much thankful for you guys in conducting this event. We had the same drive and mental health awareness program back here in the Philippines, and these types of seminars really helps a lot, especially in guiding us and some sort of knowledge transition that what you guys are doing there as well in India somewhat is the same with what we are doing here in the Philippines. But yeah, very much commendable with what you guys are doing. Please continue. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much. God bless you. Wonderful to hear you.
I guess Hawa Abbas is there with us. I guess she joined in late after her meeting.
Please allow her to speak. She's our RAGMI board member.
She has heard some part of the program. Hawa, are you there?
Hawa, where are you? Come online.
Hello, hi everyone.
Hi.
Good morning, afternoon, evening, everyone. Congratulations to the entire team and the committee. We're so proud of you. Thank you, Rita, for leading India in the right direction. And we pray that everybody that is on will begin to support their districts and their countries to actually build advocacy on mental health across the world so that we can achieve our goals to reduce less death and build better communications amongst ourselves. Thank you very much. We're super proud of everybody that organized this, and congratulations.
Thank you so much, Hawa. We had a lot of representation from your district 9125.
Yes, I saw. We were on our open meeting, so I did join in late because we were on the open meeting.
Thank you. God bless you. So that was a lovely experience. Abha, what do you think now? Where do we go?
I think if someone else has to share something, ask something, then maybe we will give them 5 more minutes. Otherwise, we will adjourn the meeting. Nagjyoti, would you like to say something? Nagjyoti from District 7710, she is quite an active Rotarian and a member of SRAG. Nagjyoti, now we want you to have a mental health initiative chapter in 7710.
Yeah, really, I will do it, and I will definitely going to inform my president, Julia, as well as my whole club members. And yesterday, we all have come together with a unique app, which is a Rotary. Actually, that app is going to get try, and that is with our club is there. So immediately I can convey your message with your some, I have taken screenshots, so I will try to convey. And if, possible, which date they are going to finalize, I will definitely going to invite you for that meeting also. Thank you so much for this wonderful session. And this is a need of everyone's, It is not today's, but all the time, an evergreen subject, and mental health is first very important. Our health is very important. Then only we can do service to the community, or we can do anything to anyone, or with our family, living a healthy life. Thank you, Binoy. Thank you, Abhaji. Thank you, Rita ji. Thank you, everyone. And wonderful, and congratulations for this successful session. And whatever support or help required from my side, I'm always there.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Anagha has raised the hand. Anagha, please.
Yeah, good evening, everybody. I'm Anagha from Rotary District 3170, and I have already started with one initiative that is on every Tuesday. We are running sessions based on mental and as well as emotional health. And our next speaker is again from Nigeria. We are conducting the sessions from all over India, and different speakers will be there. And I would like everybody to join these kind of sessions and get interactions and even bring more people into it. Thank you.
Yeah. Anagha, have you joined the DAGMI group?
Yeah, I'm there in the group.
Yes, she is
You
part
are.
of 3170
Okay,
DAGMI.
okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Wonderful.
Then we can,
Thank you so much.
why I am asking this, then we can promote this activity with more Rotractors and mental health initiative members.
Yes, thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Yeah, we will take the last statement or, comment from Mr. Agambire.
Yes,
Yeah, is that correct?
thanks so much.
Yeah.
Yes, my name is Rotarian Agambiri from the Rotary Club of Wa in Ghana. That's in the northern part of Ghana. I've enjoyed the program, and I would like to get an opportunity to share some mental health activities that has been carried on in Wa, that is the capital town of Upper West region. There is this foundation that is championing mental health activities. In fact, what they do is very serious and pathetic. They try to manage those that are already on the street, and so we are embarking on a campaign to raise funds to provide a shelter for them. Few months ago, these mental patients were targeted of ritual killings, and a lot of them, we lost a lot of them to ritual killings, which we think that we need to protect them, and then look at how we can save their lives. So I'll be looking forward to another engagement so that we can share what we do, so that together we can look at how we can help our brothers and sisters on the streets. Thank you so much. I hope to see you next time.
Thank you, Agambire. Just a fun fact, there is a word in Marathi, wa, which means very good. It is like an applause to the work that we have done. So I felt it very nice to hear to you at the end of the program. I think we should adjourn the meeting now with everybody's permission.
Bye-bye. God bless you. Take care of your mind.